Hello everyone, my name is Aditya and today we will discuss the book The Conquest of Bread by Peter Kropotkin from chapter 9 to chapter 16. So, the chapter 9 is the need for luxury. Kropotkin argues that humans don't just live for food, water and shelter. We also need beauty, joy and creativity. Things like music, art, books, flowers and decorations are often called luxuries, but he says they are actually important for our mental and emotional health. He criticized that idea that poor people should only be given basic needs while luxuries are reserved for the rich. In a truly fair society, everyone should have access to both necessities and pleasures. He points out that people, even in hard times, still make space for beauty, like how workers in poor neighborhoods grow flowers or paint their homes and with bright colors. So, in a society built on mutual aid and equality, luxury should be shared, not hoarded by the rich. Now, the chapter 10 is agreeable work. Kropotkin talks about the nature of work. He says that under capitalism, work is often boring, hard, and done for survival. Now, not enjoyment. People are forced to work long hours in bad conditions just to earn enough to live. But he believes that work can be enjoyable if it's done freely, shared fairly, and mixed with different kinds of tasks, both mental and physical. He says that people should have the chance to do different type of work instead of repeating the same thing every day. He also thinks that if everyone works just a few hours a day and shares the work fairly, no one would be overworked. Machines and technology can help reduce labor too. Work should be organized in a way that makes it fulfilling and not a punishment. Now the chapter 7 is free agreement. Instead of having governments, laws or bosses tell people what to do, Kropotkin believes in free agreement. This means people voluntarily comes together and make decisions collectively. He gives example of how this already works. Scientific groups, workers, unions and even rescue teams organize themselves and cooperate without needing a central authority. These groups making agreement follow shared rules and work for a common goal, not because someone forces them but because they choose to. So in an anarchist society, cooperation would happen naturally through shared interests, mutual aid and agreement, not through force to top-down control. Now, the chapter 7 is Kropotkin response to common arguments against anarchist ideas. Some people say if there's no government, there will be chaos, or people are too selfish to live without rules. He disagrees. He believes that humans are naturally cooperative and helpful, and history shows that people often organize themselves well in times to crisis. He says that bad behavior is usually caused by systems of inequality and oppression, not by human nature itself. Kropotkin argues that with fair access to resources and a culture of mutual support, most people would act responsibly and work together. He admits some problems may come up, but believes they can be solved without needing rules or police. Chapter 13 is the collective wages system. In this chapter, he criticizes socialist ideas that still keep wages and money. Even if factories are owned collectively, some socialists believe that workers should be paid based on the work they do, using labor vouchers or points instead of money. Kropotkin disagrees. He says this is unfair because not all labor is equal. Some people work harder than others. Some can't do due to age of health, and some kinds of works like caregiving and undervalued. He argues that instead of trying to measure and reward each person's work, we should simply give everyone free access to what they need. In a society based on mutual aid, people will contribute what they can and take what they need without money, wages, and credits. Chapter 14, Consumption and Production. Here Kropotkin talks about how goods are made and shared. He says that under capitalism, production is focused on profit, not people's need. This leads to waste, shortage, and inequality. He believes that production should be based on what people actually need, not what the most money. Communities should plan together to make sure everyone has enough food, housing, clothes, and tools. He also emphasized that there's already plenty of resources and technology to meet everyone's needs. What missing is fair in distribution and planning. The chapter 15 is the division of labor. Kropotkin criticized the system where people are forced to specialize in just one kind of work, like being a factory worker for life. The kind of division of labor makes people into machines and takes away their creativity. He argues that people should be free to do different types of work, both with their hands and their minds. For example, someone might grow food in the morning and study science in the afternoon. This kind of mixed work makes life more interesting, helps people grow, and prevents one class from doing only hard labor while others do only mental tasks. It's better for both individuals and society. Now the chapter 16 is the decentralization of industry. Kropotkin explains that in a free society, industry should not be concentrated in a few big cities or run by large corporations. Instead, production should be decentralized, spread out across towns and communities. He envisions a world where each community can produce its own food, goods, and tools using modern technology in eco-friendly ways. This would reduce waste, pollution, and dependence on large factories. He believes this kind of local small-scale industry combined with agriculture would make people more self-sufficient and free. It would also allow for better working conditions and a stronger connection between people and their work. Thank you.